The Mokgoro Enquiry in Pretoria. Sipho, a very good morning. Some revealing testimony yesterday. Just give us a recap of what happened.
Well, a very good morning to you and our viewers at home. Indeed, Johan Booysen, the former head of the Hawks and KZN, gave some revealing details yesterday, essentially saying that the charges against him that were instituted by the under-fire advocate Jiba, were as a result of him doing his work and fighting corruption in that province, and obviously essentially painting a picture of him being targeted for doing his job, investigating people that are politically connected. And I believe we do have a clip from yesterday where that is Johan Booysen was speaking on this matter, and if you can just have a listen.
What was the point of your evidence? You mentioned you were suspended, not by Ms. Jiba, but by SABC. There was a disciplinary hearing chaired by Honorable President. That disciplinary was instituted by Ms. Viega when she was the national, not Ms. Jiba. Well, what was the point of all that other than to provide some good theatre here for the media?
Did you get that sense as well, Sipho, covering the story, that Mr. Booysen was there for other reasons besides the real purpose of the inquiry?
Well, it's quite funny because he was asked by the Jiba's legal team that what was his interest in this matter, and then he mentioned that he was here at the invite of the evidence leaders team, but essentially also he spoke around a possible political interference in his investigation, saying that the son of the former President Zuma, Edward Zuma, once approached him to ask him to unfreeze the assets of a controversial Durban businessman, about 15 million that he had frozen as part of his investigation, and he said that he then was approached by Edward Zuma to unfreeze those assets. So there he was alleging a political interference in his investigations, and I think that we also have that particular clip where Johan Booysen, the former head of the Hawks, was speaking on that matter, the interference by Edward Zuma.
To be the son of the erstwhile president, Mr. Jacob Zuma, the son being Edward Zuma. We exchanged greetings, and while after we had exchanged greetings, he indicated to me that there's an issue he had to discuss with me, and it related to the 15 million rand which I'd frozen. So I said to him, well, what's your interest in this matter? And he indicated to me that he was a silent partner of Tashum Pandey, and that he was not getting his dividends because I'd frozen the money, and he would like me to release the money. I told him, look, if I do that, I'll be complicit in corruption myself, and obviously I'm not going to do that. One of the calls was made to a person by the name of Sipho Stuurman. Sipho Stuurman is the nephew of the erstwhile state president, Mr. Jacob Zuma. During this discussion, I will not repeat the exact words because they were not very nice words about me, and it was indicated that for me having the temerity to arrest them for trying to corrupt me, I was being called a mafia leader, and they decided there and then, in the words that Sipho Stuurman used, is Booysen's wings will be clipped.
Sipho, we understand you have the legal counsel of Advocate Nomgcobo Jiba with you. What is their sentiment about what happened yesterday? What transpired yesterday?
Yeah, indeed, Desiree. I do have Advocate Majavu here with me. Advocate, again, it seems as if Advocate Jiba is the steering of this inquiry. A lot of issues and a picture of her interfering with cases is being painted by a lot of the witnesses, including Johan Booysen yesterday.
Look, it would be a lapse of diplomacy for me to comment on the evidence that is currently being led, other than to state that insofar as witnesses who potentially implicate my client, we've had more than a fair opportunity to cross-examine them thoroughly, and it is up to the inquiry to make of it what it wants. And I think we must respect the fact that the proceedings are currently underway. Whether she's steering or not, it's a term coined by you in the media. And I take no issue with that, other than to say that we are satisfied that the inquiry is run very well and the issues of fairness are animating these proceedings. We've got no reason to complain about the proceedings thus far.
Of course, having monitored the proceedings, a lot of these senior advocates from the NPA paint a picture of, they say, well, Jiba, on a personal note, we don't have a problem with her, and she's a good manager, but some of her decisions that she took, especially after she was appointed by President Zuma to be the acting NDPP head, they're saying some of those decisions were questionable. So looking back, is there any, perhaps when she looks back and hearing all of this, how is she receiving all of this from her senior colleagues?
Look, she's entitled to the rule of law, and at the end of the day, it is for this inquiry, having listened to everybody, to then make its own findings. You seem to be moving from the premise that because certain people are criticizing her, it therefore should be accepted as fact that she is guilty. And we're not even anywhere close to that. So I do not agree with your characterization of the evidence thus far. You seem also not to take to heart the concessions that most, if not all, of these witnesses have made in relation to her. But I guess that's a narrative that we've grown accustomed to. I respect the fact that the media reports through their own colored glasses, and I take no issue with that. But you need to accept that the proceedings are currently underway. Now, for me to make an assessment of whether or not she's been implicated sufficient enough for her to reconsider her position, no. Those are not my instructions, far from it, and we'll continue to do what we do, respecting the rule of law and respecting the rules of engagement set by this inquiry. We are absolutely happy that things are proceeding well. And what the ultimate decision to be, you can draw your own conclusions, but I'm not going to do that.
No, we do report on the concessions, and I've mentioned previously that some have said that they don't have tangible evidence that it is their opinion or their views. So certainly our question is based on some of the testimony that comes, and not that it's my own beliefs or the media's beliefs.
Of where I thought you guys deliberately overlooked the concession. On Friday, there was an allegation or a suggestion that she is in fact a spy. From the evidence in chief and under cross-examination, it was absolutely made clear that she's not a spy. And some media houses are running a full caption that says Jiba is a spy, and that's the point I'm talking about. It is a sensationalism around which some of these reports are being carried, not necessarily by you in particular. I was just drawing an example.
Yes, I can assure you SABC never ran a story saying that Jiba is a spy. But let's move on right now. The NPA has a new head that was appointed on Friday, that was introduced by the Minister of Justice. Has Jiba said anything? What are her thoughts on the new? Does she wish her well?
Of course, she did say she's got absolutely no difficulties with this current NDPP, but you must remember that she's currently on suspension and she's focusing her attention on this inquiry. It would be imprudent of her to even enter a terrain about the new NDPP when in actual fact she's got an inquiry, a serious inquiry that she must attend to.
And just lastly, of course, we know that Angela Agrizi, that is the former COO of Bosasa, who had made allegations of Jiba receiving bribes worth about 100,000 to block investigations. You have said that you would have no issues of him coming to this inquiry and giving his testimony. Is that still your position?
In fact, we expressly said we would like him to come to this inquiry. So we were told yesterday that he has indicated, last week he had indicated that he was not going to come, but yesterday there was a road to Damascus experience and we were told that he is going to come. What the evidence leaders and ourselves are busy grappling with is just around the dates. Of course, we'll welcome an opportunity to cross-examine Mr. Agrizi.
All right. Thank you very much. That's Advocate Zoloma Javu representing Advocate Jiba, who's, of course, the suspended NPA deputy head, and just confirming with us that Angelo Agrizi, the former COO of Bosasa, has confirmed that he will be appearing here, but it's just a matter of confirming the date of his testimony.
Thank you so much for setting the scene for us. Sipho Stuurman is in Pretoria. There you have it, the legal counsel of Advocate Nomgcobo Jiba, Zola Majavu, yet again putting media reportage under the spotlight, saying some of the things that we report almost predetermine the outcomes of the inquiry, but him saying there that we are not anywhere close to determining Nomgcobo Jiba as guilty, and this coming from a legal representative who has said before he doesn't take on cases that he is not going to win. So interesting what the outcome will be in that process.